Wow. Yeah, it's just it's a crazy game. I'll tell you another, like the first at bat by Schwarber that gets caught. That's a hit almost 100% of the time. As an example, like crazy stuff with the way things are aligned today. Um, their guy throwing balls in the dirt, really difficult to block. But we take advantage. We just, we were unable to make contact in situations until Alex finally got her done. But I do love that we don't quit. We talk about it all the time. We do not quit. We stated all the way through. Javi runs hard, okay? For those group that ever want to criticize this guy, that's a ball in the dirt, 15 feet away from the catcher. The catcher just blanked out on it. If Javi does not run hard right there, it's a different result. He ran hard, and that's why he was safe, obviously, because by the time Lopez figured it out, he had already beaten it down to first base. So those are the kind of things. I was yesterday when Jason Hayward recently beat out a backside of a double play, and I talked to him about that. All those little diminutive like that is what I really. That's the difference between winning and losing, and that's so everybody's going to look at Alex's hit. Great, it was a big moment, but Javi striking out and not just sulking runs to first base hard.
What do you think? I mean, you don't know what Lopez was thinking. But what do you think do you think he ever saw the swing?
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I would think he did. I just think that he probably blanked out on the fact that he still has to throw the ball to first base. It was unoccupied. I think you'd have to ask him because that's what it looked like to me. He was looking to third, to make sure that the runner from third didn't score. I saw that, and then after he checked the runner, he chose to not do anything at first base. That's what I saw.
How do you account for the Avila, whatever you want to call it, throwback?
Oh, Peter was giving me a good recap. I guess it was like this inopportune moment where Koji wanted a different ball, and I guess he might not have been looking at Alex. Alex tried to hold up, apparently, and then the ball ended up rolling out like it did. Not horrible, in the sense that you walk Batista. I didn't feel really badly about that. But Pilar had some kind of a series, man, including the face plant on the ivy. He had that ball he hits is literally, you say it's a foot over his head. It was a foot over his head. So that's some kind of hitting the ball to the right field, give him credit. But yeah, it was just, I think, and you have to talk to Alex, it seems like there maybe he was concerned Koji wasn't looking at him and tried to hold back.
You don't see that.
No, rare. I thought it hit, you see it hit the batter on the throwback or a piece of equipment. That's what you normally see, but not normally that.
First sweep in a long time. What you guys going towards Cincinnati?
Yeah, all one-run games too, right? I mean, really, really hard-fought games. I thought that they played really well. They played really hard. They got, that's that American League East stuff, that you see, that I've seen for a long time. There's a lot of, grinders on that side. So I really appreciate how they played. So for us to beat them, because they just coming off a pretty good series, I believe. And they were winning some close games. The fact that we beat them close, I kind of like that moving forward.
You talked about winning series, and you guys already had the series one coming into today. But what does winning the third game and doing it in that fashion do going forward?
Yeah, I mean, once you get it, I mean, the really good team. Once you've won the series with one left, come on, this is when you really want to make some hay. At that point, you just don't concede anything. I thought their guy was good too. I mean, the two pitchers today, I was thinking of this, and that's a throwback game. Hendricks versus Estrada. There wasn't 95, 96, 97. They weren't lighting up any guns. They were doing it with deception, movement, and location. That was an absolute 70s kind of 70s, 80 kind of baseball game. I loved it. I mean, that's the first thing that I thought about. Estrada's good. He's really good. I know his ERA is a little bit high, but I like his method also. So it began that way. And then eventually it turns into this kind of a game at the end. I just think from a baseball purist perspective, it was a really entertaining. Again, of course, I'm happy we won. But entertainment-wise, getting 3 out of 3 makes a difference moving forward.
Now that it's over and you won, any part of you tickled a little bit to see Joe Montero hit one out like that?
Well, I texted him before the game today. I told him he's looking good. And I thought, his at-bats have been really good in this series. I thought he's been blocking the ball well. Like, typically, he's a really good catcher. So I did. So before he came up early on, he gave me a big wave before he began to catch. So it didn't surprise me. Actually, listen, if Batista had gotten on, that's why I had Dunsey warming up. I had Dunsey going to pitch to Montero right there. But because he got Batista out, then it came Montero, Pilar, then he was going to go to Goins. But once that all came down, I let him pitch through Goins and into Aoki, and that's when Brian came into the game. So there was a lot of, again, trying to piece together a bullpen, not overworking anybody. CJ, another cameo today that I thought was really good. He gets tomorrow off, and then coming back on Tuesday is not a bad thing. Stropey, another nice little efficient moment for him. And the more we've worked Wade, for me, the sharper he's gotten.
You mentioned Baez hustling at first, but the scoring from second on that play, that takes a pretty special level of athleticism, doesn't it, pretty much?
It takes good secondary leads. This is the nuance of the game. You see it from the dugout. You watch other teams. You watch your team. Guys that get good secondaries. The way I've always described that in spring training when you have your base running meetings is that you're being a great teammate when you get a good secondary lead, because it leads to moments like that. It's 2 RBIs for Avila. He gets a game winner. Of course, you get the run score, but the team wins. You're being a great teammate when you understand the importance of getting good secondary leads.
2 important hits by Zobrist late in the ball game. That would be nice going forward for you, wouldn't it?
That's who he is. I mean, that's what I keep talking about, keeping him fresh this time of the year, because he's definitely not going to cower to the moment. He definitely likes the moment, because that ball whistled in the right. Again, how Kyle getting on, running hard to first base, we're safe, smashing the hole right there. All that's good stuff. But I really believe if we keep Zoe strong, he's going to finish strongly.
We were talking right before. There's no stats, but Kerry Jones seems to have had a really good year.
Yeah. No, Jones, he asked me about the signs beforehand. No missed signs. This is a tough place. It's a tough place, and there's no fan that could criticize Jonesy's work. He's been outstanding. I thought you're right, absolutely correct. And when you make a mistake, you make a mistake. But to err on the side of aggressiveness is not a bad thing. I prefer that when it comes to our game. But he gets himself a good position. He's very vocal. He communicates really well with them, so it doesn't surprise. And that was the reputation I heard before I got here. Because I knew Jonesy from the minor leagues, never worked with him, but Theo and Jed told me exactly that.
Joe, obviously every win is big and you want to win every game. There's not really momentum, so to say, as far as the next pitcher. But a win like this where it looks like you had it and then it looks like you blew it,
Yep.
and then to come back, it sounds like those guys are having a good time there like they usually do.
Yeah, that's part of becoming a champion. You got to be able to come back. It's not going to be an oil painting every night. You're not going to be perfect. I thought Koji threw the ball well. Actually, I really did. Hard ground ball at shortstop. Otherwise, like I said, an elevated 2-strike pitch that fell in. I thought 87. I saw 87s with some carry. I thought that's a good thing from him. And then Justin, I know he walked the guys, but he held it together, gets that final out, and hopefully he can build off that also, because he's going to be really important. We get him into this because he's got the easiest 96, 97 from the side I've ever seen. We just got to get him in his zone.